Hey, how's it going, everybody? BurntBrian here, and welcome back to another Tall Can Tuesday, even though it's Wednesday, because I didn't feel like putting up a video yesterday. I honestly felt like crap. I've just been stressing myself out a lot lately, and I think maybe it just caused me to get some sort of 24-hour bug or 48-hour bug, something like that, but I am feeling a lot better today. And I do have a lot of fun things to talk about, but I promise, going to keep this video a lot shorter than most of my other ones. Before I get started, I want to remind you that this video series is all about us interacting with each other. So if you have any questions or topics you'd like to hear me talk about, leave them down below in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. On that note, I really don't get a whole lot of suggested topics and questions from you guys, and that's again the whole point of making these videos, is just to interact and not really me just read off of what the trending news topics are. Even though you guys do seem to watch these videos and like them a lot, I probably am going to take a break from doing Tall Can Tuesdays for a little while, because it's just I don't know, man. I don't know what people want to hear, and I'm tired of just kind of going through the Google trending topics and trying to pick what's current and what's going on to talk about. Maybe I'll bring it back at some point, but for right now, I think I'm just going to focus on my other beer reviews, food reviews, hot sauce, all of that stuff, and just kind of put this on the back burner, at least for a little while. But anyway, I do have a couple topics, and one question that I wanted to answer. My friend Flint Quitch had said, what do you think about Josh Brolin being cast as Cable in Deadpool? And honestly, I didn't know that he had been cast for that. I didn't hear anything about it. Before I give you my response, let me go ahead and crack open this beer and show you what we've got. This is, I'm sure, Flint Quitch, I'm sure you'll appreciate this. This is from Evil Twin Brewing Company. This is their Imperial Simcoe Slacker, and you've got this somewhat of a slacker-looking character on the front. It says on the side here, despite his bitterness, lack of power, and insuperable aversion to any over-the-counter labor, he kind of has a charming charisma and perhaps is even lovable. Somehow we find him unbelievable, irresistible, and stimulating, because he is one of the few that masters the ability to effortlessly impress with wide-ranging conversation, even though he was not even supposed to be here today. So that's pretty awesome. If you don't like that line, I'm not even supposed to be here today, is from a classic movie, a View Askew movie, which is run by Silent Bob, or Jay and Silent Bob. Anyway, it's a movie called Clerks. If you were ever a clerk who worked in convenience stores, then that movie hits home to you, and it's just perfect to your life. Anyway, this is India Pale Ale. It comes in at 7.5% per volume. Definitely should be pretty good. You guys know how much I love my IPAs, and I really enjoy everything from this brewing company. I think one of my favorites was a beer that they called Soft DK, and it's supposed to stand for the Soft Dookie, and the description on the can was awesome. I think I have a review for that somewhere on my channel. Be sure and check that one out. Anyway, that's awesome. I can see that this is a unfiltered ale, which I tend to really love. Let me see if I can show you guys. Maybe you can see all of those particles and specks, lots and lots of yeast floating around in there, and that's pretty awesome to me. I tend to love the more robust flavors that come out in these unfiltered ales. Yeah, and you really do smell that nice Simcoe aroma. Simcoe is definitely one of my more favorite hop varieties. It just has a nice, a really nice flavor to it. Anyway, cheers. Yeah, really good. Not at all overly hoppy, overly bitter. Nice little touch of citrus that comes through. That's a really tasty beer. But anyway, back to your question, Flint Quitch. What do I think of Josh Brolin being cast as Cable in Deadpool? I mean, I think honestly, when you look at how he's aged and how he's mature, I think facial-wise, he definitely can pull it off. And then with all the makeup and stuff that they're going to do to him, they're going to, I think he could probably at least pull off the appearance. I don't know about how his figure is. I know he's always been kind of a strong guy, except for in like No Country for Old Men, he kind of seemed like more of a scrawny guy. But then, you know, a couple movies that my favorites that where he was in was No Country for Old Men. He was in Old Boy, which he did kind of play a badass. If you don't know what Old Boy is, it's actually, I can't remember if it was a Vietnamese movie. I'm not sure. I know it was an Asian movie originally, and I highly recommend you go and watch that one before you watch the remake that he was in. Even though it was a good movie, the original is so much better, and there's just this awesome fight scene that is way better than they did in the movie. The scene with just a dude and his hammer as he's walking down a hallway with people with knives and bats, and he's just, you know, getting his ass beat all the way along. He's got a knife stuck in his back, but he manages to just beat the hell out of everybody in this hallway with a baseball bat, a hammer in his hand. It's really, really great hardcore, gritty scene in a movie. It's, anyway, Oldboy's a classic. Definitely go and check out the original. But I do think that he would play the role well as far as the appearance goes, and I'm hoping. He's a good actor. He's been in a lot of really good stuff, and he does tend to play sometimes some pretty tough guys. Cable to me was always an older, mature, very solemn, just a tough guy in general, and I think he's going to manage to pull it off pretty well. Interesting, I honestly didn't even know, as stupid as I am, that Josh Brolin was Brand in The Goonies, one of my all-time favorite movies growing up as a kid. I didn't realize that he played the obnoxious, kind of jerky older brother that, was actually kind of cool to his little brother. But anyway, that's my opinion. I think he's going to do a pretty good job. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the new Deadpool. I think it's going to be outstanding. And of course, they're working on so much right now. I think they're doing the Infinite War, another Avengers movie. And I didn't realize that, I guess, Josh Brolin had played Thanos in all of the different X-Men or movies that have been put out recently. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think he's going to do a good job. Thanks for the question, man. The number one topic that I want to talk about is one that's blowing up on YouTube right now. And it's all because of this really shitty kind of, in my opinion and the opinions of many other people, a really shitty parent or shitty parents in general. And I'm talking about DaddyoFive, and basically it's like DaddyoFive. He's got 5 kids, and it's basically this family that vlogs their life. But more and more stuff has come to light over the last week about, they released this video that was horrifying, where the parents take supposedly invisible ink and they pour it all over the kid's bedroom, and they think it's going to be this hilarious prank that, we're going to, make him feel so bad that they poured ink everywhere, and it's just going to vanish, it's going to disappear. And so in the video, you hear the mother just yelling, "Fuck you, what the fuck is this? Get the fuck up here," and just cussing and yelling at this poor kid. And this one kid in particular, Cody, seems to be the center of abuse in several videos. He's, the youngest, and he gets picked on the most by everyone. And I really feel for that kid. he is going through so much mental abuse, and it's insane to me what happens in that family. Anyway, this poor kid's crying and saying, no, I didn't do this. And after all the kids are in tears, they go, "Hey, it's a prank, bro." And like it's supposed to be fucking funny. And the kids are like supposed to shift gears and all of a sudden laugh and go, oh, it's a prank. And then they get mad at the kid when he doesn't respond, when he doesn't instantly go, "Ha, ha, ha," when he's still pissed off about the pranks they put him through, like having the older son smash his tablet into pieces, his brand new tablet that he just got, and then they bring him in after he's crying and bawling his eyes out. They give him another tablet, and, he's supposed to instantly forgive them and move on. And it's like, man, I'm sorry, but these people, a lot of these pranksters really pull some stupid-ass pranks these days and then act like, why are you so mad? It's just a prank, bro. And it's like, no, it's not a fucking prank. When you're in the ghetto and you go up to some, really tough-looking people and talk shit to them, and then you're surprised when they beat your ass, you're going, "It's just a prank, bro, it's just a prank." Come on, man, really, what the hell are you thinking? And these parents are horrible, man. The father in one video pushes Cody into his bookcase. The kid slams his face into the bookcase. There's a time where he punches his arm, and then there's now a released video that just came out, as far as I know, today or yesterday, and this is one that he had tried to delete, where he had his children slapping each other for views. They were playing some stupid game where you take the water bottle, then you flip it and land it. If it lands, then you're good. If it doesn't land, then the other person gets to slap you in the face. And he had his son open hand hard slap his sister or his daughter right in the face as hard as he can. You could hear this as he slaps her in the face, and it's like, now they just recently did an interview where they're trying to claim that most of what they do is fake. Everything is fake. That these kids are all acting. I'm sorry, but when that kid slapped that girl in the face, That's not acting. And I think he's just trying to cover his tracks now that all kinds of major news outlets are covering this story and many YouTubers are talking about it. The guy has 700,000 subscribers, and a lot of his supporters actually seem to think that what he does is okay. And I'm sorry, it's not okay. It is mental child abuse. What's happening to all these kids? It's mental, it's physical, all around. And I'm really hoping that the Child Protective Services starts looking into their family, checking out these videos and investigates them, because, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's horrible what they're doing. It just infuriated me when I saw it. And I'm so glad to see people like Philip DeFranco go and watch his most recent video that he just put up today, where actually the family, DaddyoFive, they blamed Philip DeFranco for what's happening now and how they're getting all this negative news attention instead of blaming themselves for being shitty parents, horrible parents who have no right to have kids. And there's, he released a whole lot of information that came out that not many people know about the father and the mother in this family. And it's really crazy, man. And I hope this channel gets shut down. And people like that do not deserve, I've got friends that are getting videos flagged and saying that their videos aren't advertiser friendly, even though there is nothing vulgar, there's no cussing, there's no violence, it's just reviewing beer or reviewing hot sauce. But that fucking family can cuss, they can yell at their children, cuss at their children, beat their children, and still get advertiser money. I don't understand how that works, and I don't understand why YouTube hasn't shut their ass down a long time ago. But anyway, that obviously really touched a nerve with me. I think it's shitty. And anyway, I don't recommend going and checking out his videos, but I mean, you can look and see all the highlights that people have taken out of his videos and the commentary about them, and it's enough to just show you that they're horrible people. Anyway. Of course, this might be petty, my next topic, but I did want to bring it up. Food and restaurant bloggers are really interesting people, and as someone who has cooked all my life in restaurants, and I've been a head chef in one or two places, you have these, reviewers. It's what they are. They're bloggers, but they're food reviewers, and I've been critical at times, but generally when I've really been critical on someone, like the fast food places that I went to, like Taco Bell, for instance, it's because I've gone to their corporate, I've gone to their managers, I went through all the proper routes to try to express how crappy the service was or what was happening, and in each instance, they just completely ignored me and didn't bother to respond in any way, shape, or form. So, in that sense, it's like, fuck you, then I'm going to put you on blast. But everyone else that I've worked with, even if it's something that I don't like, if you notice when I do a hot sauce review, like I wasn't a big fan at all of the Cosmic Peach from Peck's Peppers. Maybe it was just the bottle. I'll have to try one of the other bottles in another time. But I try not to be a complete asshole about something and really bash somebody. I try to provide insight on what could make that product better or make the food better. And I try to do it, like I say, in not a jerky way. But what some people do, and it's funny because one guy that I followed for a while, he's a blogger here in Gainesville, Florida. And he's a real, I don't know, man. He's a young guy. He doesn't like anybody leaving any criticism at all. And if they criticize him in any way, shape, or form, he goes on in a complete tack mode. Even if he's wrong, he won't ever admit he'll wrong. And the funny thing is, today we had this argument on, it's really simple, guys. When it comes to geography and surveying of land, what is considered certain areas of town is predefined by the city and professional surveyors, and no matter what we think, even if more buildings are building on certain sides of town and people are moving more this way, it doesn't matter. What's defined by the city is defined by the city. That's it. You can't just act like, oh well, even though this is the west side of town, this is technically the east side of town. That's stupid. It's dumb. You can't say dumb things like that. And so I got into an argument with this guy. Somebody had posted all of these, my argument is a lot of the places on the northeast side of town are shitty. There really aren't any good eateries, I mean, that are on the actual northeast side of town, the official northeast side. And, you know, somebody came back and they listed like 8 different restaurants. And so just out of curiosity, because I've heard of all of them, but I wasn't exactly sure where they were, I went to Google and searched, and sure enough, almost each and every one of them, I think there were maybe 2, possibly 3 out of his list, that were on the east side, but every other one were on the west side of town. So I made that observation. The guy knew he was wrong, so he deleted his comment, but this food blogger, it's called KenEatsGainesville anyway, he goes on there and starts bashing me going, bro, none of those are on that side of town, you're wrong. And I'm like, all right, man. And there are other idiots who don't seem to understand this concept. Let me just tell you, in Gainesville, the way it works, there's Main Street, right? Main Street runs right through what they call the center of town. Right on Main Street, right here, is it's all city buildings, like official government buildings. There's a Bo Diddley Plaza. There's a string of restaurants and little bars and wineries, eateries, all that. And that's what's called downtown. And it's called downtown because it's in the center of Gainesville, the center of town. So when you're driving north on Main Street and you hit that intersection between south and north and you keep on going, everything on the right side of the road is all northeast and everything on the left side of the road is northwest. I don't understand how people don't seem to understand that concept, that it doesn't matter if something is 10 feet away from this when you're talking reality and you're talking actual facts. What's on the east side is on the east, and what's on the west is on the west. This guy's like, well, what do you think? What's Santa Fe College called? Is it the north, northwest, west, west? And I'm like, no, you fucking idiot. It's called northwest. It doesn't matter how far on that side of town it is. It's on that side of Main Street. It is northwest. Just like if you go way over to Lamplighter and some of the, or even the GPD, or the juvenile training centers and stuff that are way on the other side of East Side, that's still considered East Gainesville. All of these things, it's northeast, northwest. And, these fucking moron supporters of his come in and they attack my comment, they attack my character and all this stuff, and it's like, it's what I see a lot, and this is one of the things that pisses me off about people like these young douchebag, trendy little hipster fucks. It doesn't matter if you present facts, actual proof, facts of what things are. They're going to go, but that's not how it is. No, but I mean, more people are coming over here, so it's now considered Northwest. No, it's fucking not considered that. It is still factually, no matter what you say, still this and that. There is no exception. So it just drives me insane when these stupid little bastards go on their rants and they think they know so much. And I mean, I'm older than all of those kids. I'm older than Ken. I'm older than most of them by quite a many years. I've lived in every single part of this city over many years. So, I mean, it just amazes me when someone tries to call you out on this kind of stuff. It's just ridiculous. And I know it's petty for me to get into this, but, I look at a follower, his followers, this fucking guy has almost 20,000 followers, and they're so diehard that if he does even the slightest critical review of a new restaurant that opens up, his fans won't even go and give the place a shot. They won't even try it because they're just so stuck up his fucking ass that they just think his opinion is almighty. And I'm sorry, but it's not. I mean, this kid is just another douche. I mean, he's another dumbass that doesn't know, doesn't know his ass from a hole in the wall. So anyway, I'm frustrated about that. I should probably move on to the 1 or 2 other topics. I'm going to quickly jump through. I want to not make this video 30 minutes. Such a smooth and easy drinking Imperial IPA. This is really good. Again, Simcoe is one of my favorite hop varieties. I love this. Last couple topics I want to jump in real quick. Obviously, we had the Easter killer. This was a guy who used Facebook Live, which is stirring all kinds of controversy and opinions about how good it is to have something like Facebook Live where these sickos can just live stream their evil intentions. I mean, it's the same thing. I've heard conservatives now saying we need to ban live Facebook. It just needs to get rid of it. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. You know, we can't just keep banning stuff. It's the same thing that liberals do. I mean, conservatives and liberals both are at each other, you know, complaining about one side to the other side. And then I'm just sitting here in the middle going, okay, well, you know, you're trying to take away freedom. You're trying to take away freedom. There's always going to be bad people that do bad things. When you allow guns in society, there are going to be bad people with guns occasionally that do bad things. But there's an overwhelming majority of millions of legal and lawful gun owners who won't do bad things. Just like with live streaming, there's going to be millions of people that are going to live stream and not do any bad or any harm. But then there'll be a few that do something stupid like this. Or the guy who just miraculously, the story disappeared. The news reporter, the black man who got fed up with work and then went and shot the reporter and the cameraman and all that on the scene, and somebody that was being interviewed, you know, live streaming and filming his event. That kind of story just completely disappeared. But same thing with this guy. I'm not even going to say his name, but and I'm not going to put his picture up or anything. He needs to just disappear. He's a shitty person. And anyway, he ended up committing suicide after a McDonald's worker bravely held him up in the line, saying that his fries were going to take longer. They stalled him as long as they could and got the authorities involved. Authorities chased him, and once he was cornered, he killed himself. Good. One less person in the prison system that mine and your taxpayers are going to have to pay for a life sentence. I'm glad he just took his life. I wish he would have done it before he decided to end some innocent person's life like he did. Another person who just recently killed himself, Aaron Hernandez, after he was cleared of his or acquitted of his double homicide charge or double murder charge. He was still already serving, in case anyone's not understanding, he was already serving a life sentence for murder, which he was found guilty of, but this was another case that came along. Somehow, miraculously, he was found innocent, and it's because he had the same attorney that Casey Anthony had. So he had some magical defense attorney that managed to get him off charges just like Casey did. We all know Casey Anthony killed her daughter as well. We just can't entirely prove it. Anyway, beyond that, I only have one last topic that I want to jump on real quick. Hopefully this video isn't going as long as I think it is. I'm sure it is, and I apologize. I always say it's going to be a short video. Ends up going on longer than it is. I want to talk quickly about Antifa, and most particularly the girl that we're calling Antifa Girl. And this is a stupid girl who was posting on her Facebook about how she was going to go to Berkeley, where they were having a free speech protest. The mostly right-wing, mostly, I guess you could say, Trump-supporting conservatives that are in favor of free speech. And in California, you have very little freedoms over there, especially if you're a right-leaning individual. And so, and especially when we're talking about Berkeley, it was just where all of this took place, and they were having their free speech organization. And basically, she posted on Facebook before she even went about how she was going to be cracking skulls open of these Nazis, and she wanted to kill and, you know, just basically just destroy all of these Nazis that were going to be there. And she was actually throwing, apparently they were saying firecrackers or M80s inside of big bottles, and was throwing them at people and exploding so that glass shards would shoot around at everybody. And like most of these Antifa cowards, she's wearing a mask to cover her face, but she's a dirty hippie with her dreadlocked hair. And apparently, one of the guys, I can't remember his name, and I'm not sure, I want to say he was a vet of some kind, a younger guy. He saw her, she had a bottle in her hand, and you can see her as he comes up and just decks her right in the fucking face. Bam! And she was scared when she went out there, and she should have been scared. And you know, I'm not for hitting women, but I'm of the opinion now that we're in an age of equality, right? Women want to be equal as men. They say they're equal, they can be, you know, then you're just as tough. If you're equal, then you're just as tough as a man. There's no more of this, you get to have your cake and eat it too. So in my opinion, if you come at me like you're a man, and you're talking at me, you're all in my face like a man, and you try to hit me like you're a man, hit me in my stomach, my chest, my face, then you deserve to get knocked out like a man. That's it. That's equality. That's it. You don't get to be this bossy bitch and still get to be free from the consequences of your actions. So she went out to cause harm, to try to hurt people, to really hurt people. And one guy, all he did was hit her once. And her story has miraculously changed. She was interviewed and went on to say about how she was hit by him, and then, somebody else came and hit her, and she was thrown on the ground, and then it turned into some guy grabbed her and started kneeing her in the face over and over again. Miraculously, only a couple days later, there are no marks on her face at all. She is completely fine, but she needed $45,000, something like that. She's trying to raise for her medical bills. And it's like, are you fucking serious? And people are actually giving her money. She's like at around $6,000. It's dumb, bleeding heart liberal idiots that are just giving this moronic girl money. But there is nothing wrong with her. She did not need any of that. And if you actually watch any of the real unedited videos, she was punched one time by that guy, and that was it. That's it. Nothing else happened to her. She got up, the crowd moved away, and that's it. And she deserved to get punched in the face. If you were like her and you go to these protest rallies, you deserve to get punched in your face. That's all it is. You don't see Antifa in Florida. You don't see him in Georgia. You don't see him in Tennessee. You don't see him in a lot of states. And you know why? Because if you come here to Florida and you try to act like an asshole like those people are, and you try to fight with people that are right, that have a differing opinion than you, here in Florida, we have what we call stand your ground law. And that means I don't have to run. And we have concealed carry. So I can legally carry a firearm concealed on me. And then when you try to attack me and your gang of people, I don't have to run. I don't have an obligation to hide. If I'm in fear of my life and you're coming at me with a big flag stick or some sort of baton in your hand, or you're throwing bottles at me, I have every right to pull out my firearm and shoot and kill every single one of you. And that's just how it is. I'll drop the magazine, pop the next one in, and keep going. I could have 16 rounds in my mag. That's going to put a stop to a whole lot of you guys. That's why you don't see those morons in Florida or in many of the other places around here, because you just couldn't get away with it. It couldn't happen. It only happens in dumbass places like California, where you really don't even have a right to defend yourself in any way, shape, or form. And it's sad that population, that California makes up so much, a large majority of the population of the country, at least as far as voting terms go. It's just really messed up. But anyway, I'm very strong opinion about that. You may disagree. If you do, if you disagree about anything I've said, please be sure and let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to have an interaction with you guys and go back and forth about this. And I will be respectful to you, unless you're disrespectful to me, then you'll probably get banned. But if you want to have an open dialogue, let me know down below, and I'm welcome to discuss this issue with you. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and run this video down to the end. I appreciate you guys watching this one. Again, my voice is probably still a little hoarse. I'm still trying to get over whatever it is that I've been dealing with the last few days. But this is already making me feel a lot better. So anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. This one's for all of you. Cheers. They say yeast is good for you. There was plenty of yeast in that one, so hopefully that'll help my system a little bit. One last note, I do have a lot of good stuff coming. I do still have some Pex Pepper sauces. I've got the Taco Fuego. I've got the Hornet Bomb. Scotty O'Hotty just was kind enough to send me out a huge package, or well, not huge, but a nice package. So I've got their brand new roasted pepper sauce. If you guys don't know, I've done several reviews for this company in the past. They also sent me out another new product, their classic beer bacon chipotle sauce, but now made with scorpion pepper, so that one should be really hot. And they also refilled me with another Reaper de Muerte hot sauce, and that's pretty awesome. There's actually an interesting fight that went on over this label design, and another YouTube reviewer that was trying to sort of use this same design on his hot sauce and got onto Scotty and tried to attack them for using this label. And I tracked down the original artist who made this design, and everything was kosher, and Scotty O'Hotty managed to get this up, and that YouTuber disappeared. But anyway, I do have that, and then a whole lot of other sauces from Captain Foods, and I'm really going to be trying to bang those out here very soon and be putting out a whole lot more hot sauce reviews. I need to get back to my roots and do some more of that stuff. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video. Go ahead and enjoy this beer, edit this, get it up as quick as I can. But I appreciate all your support. Again, I'm going to be taking a little break, so you probably won't see me again next week. But I'll be trying to think of some ideas and think of some topics and things to talk about. And hopefully I'll have some really good news about what's going on in my life here in the near future. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. And as always, stay toasty, my friends.